Hello everyone, this is Korath Landwalker, and tonight we have yet another exciting evening of Star Trek Online. Last week, we managed to finally, for the first time, come face to face with the renegade Klingon Jeula, all the way back from the Discovery era. And almost immediately we got sucked into what I'm considering Mycellial madness, where Jeula is using a super weapon that breaks into the fungus-like mycelial realm, which apparently connects all life in all universes. And since Jeula is using it as a weapon, it's having a chance of possibly wiping out all life in all those universes. Which is typical Klingon work right there. Well, Klingons of her era. The Klingons of the 25th century are slightly more enlightened. I mean, they like to conquer, but, they're not out to wipe everything out. Only if you, annoy them. So we're going to get right into it. As usual, however, the first thing we'll do is the usual administrivia, where we're going to take a look at the characters' reputations, because I've got advancement happening in multiple task force tiers. Let's take a look at the first one, Discovery Legends. Made sense, right? We'll grab that one and we'll run the daily for that one. And next week I should be at tier 2. It needs 15,000. I've got 12,500. I get 2,500 from succeeding. So, yes, we're going to have ourselves time. I also grabbed Nukara. Tier 1. That's a good win right there. I still have plenty of marks. Well, maybe not plenty, but I have enough. Oh, gotta do the upgrades first. I have to claim the reputation in order to get the benefits of the reputation. So once I've done this, then everything that's available on the tier 1 rep becomes available. That means I get the capability of slotting Identify Vulnerability or Indomitable. I like the Identify Vulnerability. I like the thought of being able to ignore shields in ground combat to an extent. I may have to slot that. I don't think I can slot it right away, though, because of the, because of the way the game is put together, it's not going to actually load up the trait to choose until I switch maps. Luckily, that's going to be pretty easy. I still have marks. We'll see if we can go towards the next level. It'll go a little faster because, unlike my other marks, the Discovery marks, I'm getting 5,000. And that's because I got tier 5 reputation in Nukara, and indeed in most of these various reputations with other characters, primarily one character. The only one I haven't gotten up, well, the only two I haven't gotten to tier 5 or better is Discovery Legends and the competitive war games. And maybe the Gamma Task Force. I don't know. Did I do that? No, I did. I got Gamma Task Force up to tier 5 too, so. So we're going to fill up all the Nukara here. I should have enough to get me to tier 2 with the marks I have. I take it back. I am unlikely to get to tier 2 because I'm 10 short. Well, these things happen. But there is a possibility. We'll come back to that possibility later. And as always, the new Rhymeless reputation, which I continue to burn my reputation marks towards to get to tier 6. But those marks are looking awfully thin. I've got 3 more runs with this. And I am going to be dramatically short. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, what was I going to spend them on? Okay, I could have spent them on reputation items. We all have our little blind spots. Alright, so, moving on. Endeavors. Apparently, if I go to the Gonkra Battle Zone... Gonkra Battle Zone? Where the heck is a Gonkra Battle Zone? Is it here? No. Gonkra Battle Zone. I have no idea where that is. Thought I knew all the battle zones in the area, in the game. Let's see if the Endeavor here tells me anything more. Gonkra System, Gonkra Sector of the Alpha Quadrant. Well, now I'm kind of curious. Where am I on the map? If I'm close enough to the Alpha Quadrant border, I might just skip over there briefly. Because, darn it, I want to know. You forgot to do the raid, Legend Eternal. Oh, for shame. But you were the only one left. Hey, believe me, I know all about that story. I almost never have enough people that's worth doing a raid for on somebody. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna send my 1 or 2 people over. Oh. In any event, I was just going over my list of endeavors here, and I saw an endeavor about the Battle Zone in the Gonkra system. And it occurred to me, I have no idea what that is. I mean, I've only been playing this game since, beta. You would think I would know where everything is. Gonkra, all the way over here. Ah, it's okay, it's a Sengethi Battle Zone. I don't think I've actually done the Sengethi Battle Zone. At least I can't remember having done so. It's still fun when you raid, even if it's just a couple peeps. Yeah, I have done it a few times, just not many. Okay, let's see. We've hit the reputation. I don't believe I have any skill points to allocate anywhere. Last week I swapped over to strategist secondaries because benefits. Oh, I swapped maps, which means that identify trait should be there somewhere. Except it's not. Okay, let's refresh our memory here. Tier 1. Identify vulnerability. Oh, I wonder if it's a space trait. It might be a space trait. I thought it was ground, but I don't see it here either. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm good. I forgot all about the fact that they changed up how the traits work for reputations, where now you can do them separate from your personal traits. Yeah, there we are. There we are. Okay, so what do I got currently on my ground rep? Run speed, okay, I'm keeping that. Critical hit chance, maybe. Critical severity, and knockdown. Well, you know what? I don't think I've ever actually seen the knockdown do anything, so we're going to get rid of that. We're going to put on that identify vulnerability so I can get some extra shield penetration, which is something I always appreciate. Okay. Well, that was a little crazy. So, we're going to take a look at the episode list. We have gone through virtually the entire game, but not quite, because we're down to Jaula's discovery, and we are going to run through a few more. Well, we're going to go through a couple patrol missions, and then we're going to go into one of the more entertaining missions, which has very little to do with Jaula herself, but everything to do with Star Trek. But these first couple missions are patrol missions.
There's a Starfleet distress signal coming from the Kinger system.
And that means the
USS
rewards are a little
Birmingham
different.
was investigating pirate activity in the area while on patrol. There's a large concentration of spore colonies in that system. If pirates are in the spore business,
The good
now,
news, though, is they're pretty
we have
fast.
a new problem to deal with. We better see what's going on there. Pirates, it's hairy mud all over again.
Now, just from looking at this, you might think, man, this is crap. Tiny experience points, tiny expertise. But this is a patrol mission. Other stuff will land in our lap. So, off to Kinger, which means we're going to take the transwarp, because I'm lazy. Not to mention, I don't want to inflict, the long traveling music upon people. Kinger Prime was destroyed more than 6,000 years ago when the core of its sun collapsed. The system is near several trade routes, but the planetary debris field is a hazard to navigation, and kinoplasmic radiation in the area can adversely affect computer and navigation systems. Most freighter and transport captains make a point of avoiding the system. But of course, we're not going to be avoiding it because looking for trouble is part of what we do.
Looks like there was a fight here recently. I'm not picking up any House Mokai ships on the sensors, though. If they're here, they're under cloak.
Plus, we've got some ships that are actually mobile.
Good to see you. Admiral Cabret, at your service. As you can see, we're dealing with an unexpected breakout of hostilities here.
Okay, be more specific.
We came here to determine the status of a rather unusual variety of spore. As we were getting our bearings, a Ferengi marauder dropped out of cloak and unleashed hell.
Wait a second. For those who are familiar with Star Trek lore, when you think about the various empires and governments all across the galaxy, when you go on the list of who has cloaking technology, the Ferengi aren't on that list.
Afraid so. Fortunately, the Carter and Shurgat were able to respond before the Ferengi finished us off. Once they arrived, the Daemon pursued the better part of Valor and went back under cloak. Now that you're here, I believe the Ferengi will cut and run, assuming they're still out there hiding.
It does seem bad for them, but on the other hand, Ferengi do weird things. And I have to admit, being a member of the Romulan Republic, we feel a little proprietary about cloaking tech, so if they show up, we'll have to kick their butts.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm reading low-level radiation coming from a nearby asteroid. I think your Ferengi is out there harvesting spores, Admiral.
Okay, that probably can't be
Take
good.
the Carter and Shurgat with you. The Ferengi will think twice about attacking a group of ships. And you might be able to put an end to all this without firing a shot.
If only.
The Carter is ready to assist you.
Now, you'll notice
Lead
that
away.
the name of the episode here is the 9th Rule.
Reading a single Ferengi vessel.
That
Marauder
refers
class.
to the rules of
Leave me close.
acquisition for the Ferengi. It's not quite a religion for them, but it might as well be. Unfortunately, I hardly memorized all of them, so I have no idea what the 9th Rule actually is. So they decloaked and... Madrin? Madrin? Oh, Madrin. It's good to see you again.
I made myself clear to that woolly-faced Starfleet admiral.
We've run into Madrin a
This
number of
salvage
times
is
in the
mine
past.
and mine alone. Now run along before I'm forced to damage that pretty ship and take it as a prize. After all, even a damaged ship of that class will fetch a fine pile of latinum.
That's true. Temur-class raiders are not exactly common. On the other hand, every other time we've encountered each other in Madrin, we've kicked your butt. Just saying.
That's what you get for doing your own thinking, friend. Allow me to show you the error of your ways.
Yeah, Madrin's like a cockroach. He just keeps popping back up, no matter how many times you hit him with your shoe.
Leave enough of their ship for
Whoa, Mirror Universe people. Well, he's been falling in with the wrong crowd, hasn't he? Oh, you know what? You're not the only one who can cloak. Allow me to demonstrate. Oh, that's one Terran ship already down. Oh, they're also doing a pretty good job on queuing through my shields. Not to mention the hull, and other important parts of my ship. Let's see. Yeah, let's get the miracle working going. Factor beam me, huh? Well, let's see what happens if I do that to you. Of course, my tractor beam is a repeller as opposed to a draw close kind of thing. Okay, oh, more just showed up. I should have realized that would be too easy. Let's get some reinforcements coming. What's the point of having reinforcement abilities if I don't call upon them? Oh, no, you don't. It helps I've also got assistance from those 2 Starfleet ships. Because I gotta tell you, these Terran guys, they're kind of folding easily.
Well, there's good news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
This can't possibly be great. Okay, let's get the worst out of the way.
Bad news, the Ferengi managed to harvest a spore colony from the asteroid before we arrived. He's got more than enough to make our lives difficult if he sells to Ja'ul.
And the good news?
The Ferengi ship just dropped out of cloak, and by the look of things, they're suffering a full propulsion system breakdown. No impulse, no warp, thrusters only. So, how do you feel about taking those spores off their hands?
It's gonna suck to be Mandarin, that's what it means. Now, one of the details about all these patrol missions is that they're pretty much, as far as I've been able to tell, they've always been space missions. At least ever since they did the patrol revamp.
Let me remind you that I have what you want, and it's one button press away from disintegration. My ship might be a mess, but my personal phaser works just fine.
Yeah, too bad your shields are down. Energize.
You beamed out my spores! Not one, not some, but all my spores! I'm ruined! Oh, I don't suppose you're interested in a very promising business opportunity on Ryza? Beachfront property?
I'm going to take a great deal of personal satisfaction in saying no.
We've got company, angry company. They're targeting us and the Ferengi.
Ah, nuts. He's going to get away. I can feel it.
Deal's changed, Ferengi. No spores will be.
You treacherous! This deal gets worse.
Betrayed by the North.
Decisions.
How'd you know that was coming, Modron?
I kind of almost want to leave them at their mercy. But, you know, the Federation folks that we're allied with would probably complain. The things we do to remain in the good graces of the Khitomer Alliance. I mean, heaven knows, Mandarin deserves what he's getting. Ah, well. We will meet him again, I'm sure. Oh, that's really not repaired yet. How about that? Of course, now I'm wondering who else he's ripped off.
The nerve of some people. Do they not know the 16th rule of acquisition? A deal is a deal. Ah, but you're not a barbarian. those... Never mind. You've got class, I can tell.
It's not helping.
Now, don't be so hasty, my classy, well-armed friend. Before you haul me off, let me tempt you with a one-of-a-kind offer. That Ryzian timeshare I mentioned earlier, plus a full barrel of Tranya. 2386 vintage. That's easily worth my weight in latinum.
Sounds to me like you've been dieting. Prep up the tracker beam.
I'll tell you where the Delkin Crown jewels are hidden.
I'm not too concerned. They're probably fake anyway.
The Birmingham is ready for action, and not a moment too soon. It looks like Madron's treacherous friends are coming back for a rematch.
Pity.
I can honestly say I had nothing to do with these ships coming to kill us. They're doing it all on their own. You aren't going to let them kill me, are you? I'm helpless. You have to protect me.
Is there anything more pathetic than a whiny Ferengi? You know, Madron, I am susceptible to bribes. Oh wait, no I'm not. But, you know, blah blah blah, good, honor, decency, blah blah blah. There are times I hate my job. Whoa, they just walked. They definitely took a hammer to their shields. More reinforcements. Ironically enough, I'm calling them pirates. Take care of the small fry before we deal with that battleship. Watch this, yeah. It's always nice to see the bad guys with their equipment going down. Ooh, there's 2 battleships. Okay, this might be a little tougher than anticipated. Still, should be doable. Everyone's susceptible to bribes that are big enough. That may be, but on the other hand, I cannot think of a bribe big enough for a Ferengi, especially if that Ferengi is Madron. Ah! Okay, that was not good. One thing you do not want to see is seeing a bunch of enemy fighting ships drop right on top of you. Yeah, things are getting a little ugly here. Okay, losing my 4 shields fast. That's never a good sign. Oh, more reinforcements available. Let's grab some perk. Okay, I think we're gonna win this. Now you can see all this stuff that comes as a reward. Skill points, bonus packages, the usual trifecta.
Well fought indeed. They'll think twice about coming after us again. I'll let Alliance Command know what happened here today. If Jeula or any of Madron's friends try to harvest the spores in this system, we'll make sure they have a nice welcoming party waiting for them.
And don't forget Madron.
Madron's on his way to a Federation holding facility. We will make sure he faces justice for what he's done here today. Rest assured. Your work is done here. We'll take care of the wrap-up. Cabret, out.
Okay, in addition to the usual trifecta, we also got free dilithium ore as well. So, the question is, where do things stand with my reputations? I have enough to get me to tier 2 on Discovery. I think we were talking about Nukara being an issue, so we'll take the Nukara marks. There we are. And we'll open up our inventory. Let me see that. No, I guess it opened it up automatically. Works for me. Let me just make sure. Somewhere along the line, I gotta clean up my inventory again. I'll get around to it at some point. Is there any other loot drops I missed? Might as well pick that up just on the outside chance it's something decent. It's always nice to be able to sell stuff later. Okay. And now, depart the system. And no quotes as to what the ninth rule was. Ah well. It wasn't that important to me. So, our next episode, which is another patrol mission, Ruins of Doom. Oh, you know what? Maybe that will be a ground one.
Forces are up to something in the Imaga system. I understand there was a problem with a planet killer in that system a while back. Interesting. Oh, where was I? Right, Imaga. In addition to a lot of debris and the ruins of this planet killer, there are spore colonies there.
I don't think I was involved with that one.
And House Mokai is probably harvesting them, so we should put a stop to that real soon.
Okay, again, piddling details here. But it's the patrol stuff that's the important stuff. We are going to transwarp ourselves over there because, you know, why inflict that on screen viewers? Just get to the meat of it swiftly. Unfortunately, they put me on the wrong side of the star. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Imaga was once a troubled world plagued by tribal warfare. The conflicts came to a head in the late 22nd century, when an attack on a colony located on Imaga 2 cracked the planet to its core and killed more than 250,000 residents. Shaken by the tragedy, the Imagans settled their differences and built a pacifist society. Imaga was occupied by Sona forces in the late 2360s, but they were forced to retreat from the planet a decade later. Oh, that's interesting. The Sona were pretty significant in the Star Trek Insurrection movie. Honestly, for a bunch of aliens that were supposed to be pretty kick butt, we'd never heard of them prior, and we never heard of them since. It's going to be one of those slow loading maps. We get those occasionally. You win some, you lose some. Oh good, we're almost there. Bang.
Getting some unusual readings from the spore colonies in this system. They're mutating at an accelerated rate, absorbing and emitting some nasty radiation as they do so.
Yeah, Harpang radiation. We're familiar with it.
Right, well, the spores are growing on the debris of this doomsday machine, which is where all of that radiation is coming from. This is a problem. The radiation is bleeding into the mycelial network through the spores. It'll cause serious damage if we don't deal with it soon.
Alright, so I guess our mission here is to clean up the radiation.
Hate to say it, but we need to cull the mutated spore colonies before the damage to the network is too great to reverse.
That would have been my second guess. Alright, Spore Colony Alpha. You'll notice that we had,
We do not want to get hit by those radiation pulses. Trust me.
Yes, thank you. See, we've got that countdown timer there. So once that thing hits 0, we'll be able to go in and do something to it.
Watch out. Mokai Raiders on an intercept course.
Oh, okay. We've just had to change the plan a little bit. I can't really afford to be dealing with that and Mokai Raiders at the same time. Now, what I'm finding offensive is that the Mokai Raiders are in perfect health. Apparently, they don't have a problem sitting around in the middle of the radiation pulses. I am offended. Okay, well, you want backup? Fine. I can do backup too. Once we get rid of these raiders, I should be able to deal with the problem of the radiation with little issue. Okay, 18 seconds. Just kind of cruise near the border. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward momentum. Cull the spores.
Let's deal with the next
Got 'em.
spore colony before the Mokai send reinforcements.
Huh, okay. I may have misinterpreted. Apparently that's not a death zone. It's a countdown for the pulse, and the pulse is what does the damage. Although, again, the Mokai guys didn't seem like they were being affected very much by it. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to avoid. Okay. I understand now.
Colony neutralized. Let's head toward the next one. Picking up Mokai ships on long-range sensors. We're about to have company.
Alright, if they want to be company. I gotta admit, they're doing pretty good on their alpha strike. I've had to use the Miracle Worker far too many times. Let's see if I can open up the hull here. Their hull, not my hull. I think I'd like to keep my hull intact. At least more intact. Oh, and I still got a couple birds of prey to deal with. That's embarrassing. I was hoping the torpedoes would do a little bit more damage.
Door shields failing. Hull integrity below 25%.
Let's see what happens if I do my favorite surprise attack on these guys. Charging up. Yeah, I was really hoping. Ouch! What the heck hit me? Oh. Was I in range of that pulse? What'd they get me with? That was a bird of prey. Cripes. They've been feeding their photon torpedoes Wheaties. Okay, guys. No more Mr. Nice Guy. That's right. Keep spinning around, boys. Oh, are you telling me he healed up almost a full? Oh, okay. Now I'm mad. You were down to almost nothing, and then you went right back to full health. That's something you're supposed to do after you've blown up. Okay. Reinforcement time. They can play dirty, so can I. Not done with you boys yet. And that leaves one bird of prey. And now that that's out of the way, start looking at this particular spore colony. Don't get too close because it's getting ready to pulse. Alright, let's go in and get rid of that colony.
Destroy these fools and take back what is rightfully ours. Comply!
Oh, is Jula here? Yes, Jula is here. Well, this could be my lucky day. First things first, though.
We will bring the stars of the honor and strength for the Empire.
Oh, sounds like we've got some friends. That means I'm not as horribly outnumbered as I thought I might be.
Some of the newest Klingon arrivals are on our side.
I hear that. We've already had a graphic demonstration in simulation that soloing the Lucara is not the best thing for us. Oh, naturally she runs off. Although I can't help but notice that she abandoned the rest of her vessels here. That's Klingon bravery right there. I was watching a stream of another acquaintance of mine in the City of Heroes realm, where he basically does streams for villain gameplay. And we remarked about abandoning your minions as being classic villainy. Let's get some perk out here. After all, if you're going to be attacking Klingons, you might as well let some of their age-old enemies take them out. Oh, I am right there with you. Oh, I didn't realize. That's Corrin. Oops, I also didn't realize I'm getting inside the area of the pulse. Alright, standard trifecta plus the package and stuff.
Did you see how Ja'ula ran like a scalded Targ? She is not Klingon, and a disgrace to the memory of her honorable brother. We shall remain vigilant. If the coward Ja'ula shows her hideous face here again, I will finish what we started here this day. I will send her, screaming, to the gates of Grethor.
I approve this message.
Is it me, or do most forms of Klingon justice ultimately end with screaming in Grethor? You know, never mind.
Yes, you
Look,
do.
as long as House Mokai isn't polluting and destroying the Mycellial network, I'm good.
Okay, first we're going to try to... Oh,
Glorious.
no,
Did you see-
didn't want to do that. I'm trying to get the marks figured out. Figure out what I can use 15 marks for. Let's see, 15 would get me... Oh, not much doing discovery marks. That's why I do think I need them as Lucara marks, possibly. Since they seem to be 30 and not 15 like I was thinking for some crazy reason. Oh, no, not Undine, Lucara. There we go. That should do that. Had to think that one through far more than I really needed to.
Glorious. Did you?
Yes, we've already caught all that, so we're going to depart system. And we are going to now engage in a 2-part mission. Which means, of course, there's an excellent chance we'll be going over today. Well, you know, these things happen. It's worth it, though. Although, it would be classic for me to stop after part 1. And then part 2 would be next week. That's getting way ahead of ourselves. The measure of morality. And we're to be contacted by someone we probably didn't expect.
The long-range sensor arrays in the trailer system went offline recently. Last thing they picked up before that happened was a Borg scout ship. I'm heading to trailers now to investigate. If this is the beginning of a new Borg incursion, I could use some backup. Meet me there as soon as you can.
I've never really gotten a plausible explanation of how we went from Voyager 7 that we encountered in the Delta Quadrant arc to Picard 7 as of the anniversary event and, well, this mission. But then again, it's hardly the first time they've ignored little details like how'd this happen. Of course, it is in character for Star Trek Voyager, where, you know, they tended to ignore everything that happened before. Okay, the usual trifecta. Experience points, expertise, and dilithium ore. And that's actually a pretty decent chunk of XP. Will that be enough to get us over? No, it will not. At least not by... Ah! That was not the window I wanted to close. Come back here.
The long-range sensor arrays in the trailer system went offline recently.
We'll also have the choice of... Actually,
Actually,
we're not going to get a choice of this. We'll actually get the full thing. 7's dual Tetuan rifles. Jerry Ryan, yes indeed, he is doing the. He is revisiting her part of 7 of 9 voice acting here. That's right. There are a lot of Trek alumni who have reprised their characters in this game. 7 is only one of them. We'll be seeing another one too. More on that momentarily. I'm going to definitely get a kick out of those Tetuan rifles. I'm going to have to consider exactly what I'm using the Lex weapon right now. Hold on, let me swap that out before we even get started. What the heck was I using as a secondary weapon? Oh yeah, the flamethrower. Yeah, I can't give up the flamethrower. Where the heck is my flamethrower? It couldn't have gone far. It was a mission I had done fairly recent-like. Relatively recently. There we are. Ugh. We're missing some of her best acting, only getting her voice in the game, though. Well, you know, you can only do so much. Alright, mission accepted. And once again, we're going to zap ourselves via transwarp to our destination. Hope things are going well with you, Captainite. The trailer system hosts a blue-white star and large dust accretions, which can easily hide starship movements. The Federation maintains a network of satellites in this system to surveil movements of various enemy groups, such as the True Way and Orion Pirates. And we are now officially in the year 2411.
Been a while. You look well. Considering what I hear about your exploits, that's an impressive feat. Back to business. Spotting a Borg scout here made a lot of people nervous, and with good reason.
Incidentally, I feel compelled to mention that the reason we kicked over to a new year is this mission and the next mission were released as a part of the 10-year anniversary of Star Trek Online. So, going on. Ah, yes, the Legend Scream previous, where he was engaging in hammerheads and having his butt kicked by a satellite and stuff like that.
So, some old friends called in a favor, and here I am. I came here looking for Borg, but the real problem turned out to be sabotage. Orion smugglers fouled up the long-range array, but they left the short-range sensors intact. I have plenty of evidence from the sensor logs to turn over to Alliance officials.
And did you find any more?
Still a concern. If they're sizing up this quadrant as an incursion zone, we need to know about it. I have a few ideas on upgrading the sensor arrays, making them harder to disable and better at spotting Borg. Beam me over and we can sort out the details.
Alright. Now the good news is the Borg haven't really been a major issue since before the
With your
Iconian War.
assistance, I can complete the modifications quickly.
Oh, by all means. Run an update on satellite number 1.
Good. Now that we have a working array, our next step will be initiating the new security protocols. Hold on. Are you seeing this? The long-range sensors just lit up like a Dabo table.
Who told you could operate our sensor board?
Reading a massive energy surge. We're being scanned. Something's overriding all our
Yes,
control systems.
evil
attempting to
satellites.
bypass.
Oh, that's not good. Brace for impact. What does happen there? Everything just went kablooey and... Ah! Oh, that looked bad. I'm sorry, I was using past tense. This looks bad. The first thing I'm going to say is, where the hell are we?
Oh, that was unpleasant. Still, there are no damage reports and no casualties.
Technically, 7, I should be hearing this from my crew. That's one of the little issues I have with some of these guest appearance things. They tend to take over the roles that your bridge officers and yourself are more suited for. It's really annoying. So, getting back to my original question, where the heck are we?
Scanning. This is unexpected.
Really? Because I've never heard of the unexpected star system. Be more specific.
According to astrometrics, we were catapulted several hundred light years from Trailus to the Excalibur system.
Excalibur. Where have I heard Excalibur before? Perhaps if I had watched the original series.
There's some facts to go along with those legends. In the 23rd century, Excalbians abducted the USS Enterprise and subjected some of her crew to a series of combats. Some sort of morality test.
You think that might be why we're here?
Feels that way to me. I doubt they dragged us all the way out here to have a Ractogino and talk about baseball.
Wouldn't that be cool, though?
One way to find out for sure, hail them and see what they want.
Well, we can't exactly get a communications link there, so...
I can boost the signal once the ship is in a standard orbit. Assuming the Excalbians are in a talking mood, we should have answers soon.
Didn't I have a bridge crew? Standard orbit. I have a feeling I'm going to rant about that sort of thing far too often in the next few weeks. Okay, let's kick up the comm signal and try again.
We are receiving your signal. On behalf of the Excalbian people, I bid you welcome.
I swear I've seen your picture before. Now, as a member of the Romulan Republic, I would have no idea who the hell that is. And strangely enough, this is not the first time he's shown up on Star Trek.
That is a complicated matter, I'm afraid. I think it would be easier to discuss it face to face. We prepared a meeting ground on the surface of Excalibur. It meets your needs for atmosphere and climate, as I understand them. Will you join us there?
Well, since we're not going anywhere, I guess we don't have much of a choice in the matter. Okay, it's just 2 people, so... I'm gonna take Dr. No here. Or as I prefer, No! Because while you would think that it would be a good idea to take a tactical officer down with me, the Excalbians are not exactly known to be susceptible to little details like polaron or plasma fire. So, might as well try to keep it semi-diplomatic. I may be sorry about this later. On the other hand, I find it hard to see how it could go wrong with a medic.
Welcome, friends.
I do hope the local climate is to your liking.
The climate's fine. It's our abduction that we have a problem with, friend.
My apologies. It was not an action of my choosing, I can assure you.
And that is an Excalbion.
Your presence is required for a matter of great importance.
Greater than conversations with dead presidents?
Long ago, the two of us were involved in a study, if you will.
An evaluation of two concepts, good and evil. The initial results were ultimately inconclusive.
The debate has continued since that time.
We now seek a final resolution.
What does that have to do with
You've
us?
got to be kidding.
You have been chosen as advocates for the concept of good.
But you will
Doesn't
not
everybody feel that
face it
way?
alone.
Hello. Looks like we have a lot of work to do here.
That's
Oh,
putting it
speaking of
mildly.
other voice acting, here's the next one. The actress behind Michael Burnham from Discovery.
You have questions. I will attempt to clarify our intentions.
Okay, spit it out.
In this trial, you will be accompanied by associates that we have created for you. You will confront a variety of situations in opposition to evil forces. Your actions will be judged, as will those of your opponents. The prevailing concept will guide us as a people. We shall pursue the virtues of good, or the vices of evil.
Isn't the whole violence thing kind of tilting the scales just a little bit on the wrong side? Just saying.
We find violent conflicts produce pure examples of good and evil.
Well, yeah.
Results to evaluate and judge.
I already know the answer to the question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. What if we don't? What if we decide that we're just gonna kick back our feet here and just sit and do nothing?
Failure to participate will be seen
Yeah,
as your
I figured.
endorsement of the supremacy of evil. The trial will then conclude with a judgment in favor of evil, and our subsequent pursuit of the concept as a guiding principle.
Yeah. Yarnik, you suck.
The trial awaits you. Proceed through the portal behind me when you are prepared.
I think we need to be cautious when dealing with the Excalbions. They're a lot like Q, minus a sense of humor. Fashion sense could use a little work, too.
Right. Ideas, anybody?
For now, I say we play their game and stay in one piece. Look for opportunities to swing things in our favor. Our new teammate here might have some insight into the situation as well.
Yes. And you are?
Michael Burnham, of the USS Discovery.
Yeah. I believe we're dealing with some of the fallout of your era. Thank you very much. Thanks a heap for Duula, incidentally.
Judging by your uniforms, I'd say I'm in the future. The last thing I remember was preparing for battle with my crew, and the crew of the Enterprise. Since we're having this discussion, I'm guessing we won that fight. My apologies, my memory's a bit fuzzy. Possibly a side effect of whatever brought me here.
Yeah, well, since we've already beaten the crap out of temporal time travel rules and all that. Hi, welcome to 2411. What do you think of the place?
Over 150 years. Fascinating. Right. I'll catch up later. Assuming we get through this trial in one piece.
Ah, yes, the important detail that.
To address your original question, I wish I had all the answers, but I know as much as you do. Going through this trial will give us the chance to conduct some tests of our own, learn more about them and the situation here.
All right, well,
Take heart, my friends. Yarnik has a forceful personality, but his voice is not the only one heard here. There are many Excalbians who would embrace virtues before vices.
well, great.
Well said. And as one of your allies here, I have a warning for you. The trials are drawn from your past experiences and records, but they will not be identical recreations. There will be alterations to test your responses and those of your opponents. Expect the unexpected.
So, business as usual.
Please
Thanks anyway.
accompany me. Beyond
Yeah,
that portal,
that
the
doesn't look
first
ominous at
trial
all.
awaits. Good luck, my friends.
Portal made out of molten rock. This feels like a horrible idea, but our choices are limited.
My tricorder's showing a Class M tropical biome. By the look of things, this world is under attack. I'm reading a lot of weapons fire from several locations in the area.
Yes, I know it well. This is Brea 3. This is where we had our final confrontation with Hakiv. Will I have the chance to kill Hakiv again? It's Christmas!
This is a safe position for now, but that could change soon. We need to get to cover fast. I see a plaza ahead. Casualties. Enemy forces may be in the area.
Yeah, watch for Remans. Not to mention Tal Shiar. That's what mostly Tal Shiar. I sure hope I don't run into myself. That would be inconvenient.
This didn't happen long ago. Some of the bodies are still warm. When did this take place, originally? I don't recognize the uniforms on these Vulcans.
A couple years ago, and technically... Oh, right. This was before your time. Those aren't Vulcans, they're Romulans. You guys actually never saw Romulans before, have you?
Romulans? You're serious? Those are Romulans. This is a lot to take in.
You didn't think that No was a Vulcan, did you? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. No, the Romulans kind of, split from the Vulcans way back. They don't get along.
The Romulans are... I clearly have a lot of catching up to do. But the middle of a war zone isn't an ideal place for a history lesson.
Quite.
These Romulans are Tal Shiar, members of a covert military intelligence force.
Yeah, they're a bunch of jerks.
A number of them could be responsible for this attack.
Oh, I know exactly who's responsible.
This one was killed by heavy plasma weaponry. Strange. I'm also reading trace amounts of several exotic particles in the area. Antiproton, tachyon. Whoever else was in this fight used some extremely advanced weapons.
Yeah, it sounds like Iconians, except, the weird thing here is... the way it actually happened.
The Iconians were allies of the Tal Shiar at this time. They were probably fighting at their side. This may be one of the unexpected changes Lincoln warned us about. Iconians arriving here early.
What a lovely thought that is. Let's keep moving. Oops.
Some kind of constructs.
Oh, yeah, those are the Iconians, alright.
Heralds.
Yes, we're having the greatest hits from the game in the past. First, we have the battle here, and now we've got Iconians poking their nose in. And where the heck... What are you two doing all the way over there?
Those were Iconians?
No, those were heralds. They kind of softened everybody up first. If the Iconians themselves were here, we'd be in a lot more trouble.
Heralds are augmented servants of the Iconians. They were used primarily as shock troops. We've encountered them before, but if they're here now, things are worse than expected.
No kidding.
There's a tactical force field blocking our way. That looks like the emitter over there. Should be simple enough to destroy it.
Oh, let's get moving. In fact, very specifically, you two move your hind end and stop sitting all the way over... Ow, what's the use? There are fights worth fighting and fights that aren't, and that one is not worth fighting. I'm just going to have to assume that the heavy lifting is going to be handled by me and No. Well, I'm kind of sorry I don't have Aurora Talon here now. Okay, major fight going on over here. Let's get his fortifications up here, because there's no way I want to be getting too close.
Riemann combat squads. Wonderful.
So, these Riemans, they're on our side. Good to know.
Yeah, things get complicated. But yeah, for the most part, the Riemans are the good guys. At least these Riemans. Because somewhere around here, Obasek is probably lurking. Okay, we seem to be making good progress here. Not too many more targets standing. One Tal Shiar, one Construct. Okay, it looks like Obasek actually doesn't know me in this particular reality. Because we certainly met before this fight.
Your timing is fortuitous.
Or maybe not.
My resistance forces are closing in on Hakiv's laboratory, but he has opened an Iconian gate. The Iconians have sent their minions to aid Hakiv, but all is not lost. We can still stop them. The lab is not far from here. If we can fight our way past the guards, we can put an end to all this, and Hakiv.
Oh, maybe I will get to kill him again. You don't have any clue about what's happening with the Excalbians, right?
Excalbians? No, Iconians. Hakiv has brought them here. They're putting up quite a fight. I'll need all the help I can get to stop him. Will you help us?
Oh, certainly. Another chance to shoot Hakiv?
Force field blocking the way. This Hakiv really doesn't want to be interrupted, does he?
Yeah,
It may
well,
not
you know
be
what?
in an obvious
We want to get
place.
him.
Check the nearby buildings and rooftops.
Okay, spread out, look around. Of course, since, you know, those two have completely stayed all the way behind. Well, there's the rooftop. You can slow us down.
Hakiv
Can't
has
stop
holed up
us.
in the south like the cornered vermin he is. Once we're near his position, I can set up a jamming field to prevent him from beaming out. Then we can bring him to justice at last.
For those
You might be
unfamiliar,
able to block transporters, Obasek, but I doubt you can block a functional Iconian gate.
yeah.
As long as that remains open, Hakiv will be able to escape. Deal with the gate first, then you can talk about justice all you want.
For those who are unfamiliar, Hakiv, for lack of a better phrase, was the early game's nemesis for the Romulan characters. In fact, we're kind of the reason he has only one eye to work with anymore. Because we might have been kind of responsible for shooting his ship and causing explosions and frying that eyeball. I'm still not sorry. Hakiv was responsible for a whole lot of misery for Romulan Republic. So, it was a great deal of personal pleasure that we were able to finally kill him off at the end of this particular episode. The original version of this episode, that is. Sadly, however, we may or may not get the chance to do it again. I'm certainly hoping we get the chance. Oh, Endeavor Award. I didn't think I had anything for an Endeavor Award. What was the Endeavor for that one? Polaron damage. Oh, I guess I am using a Polaron weapon, aren't I? Haha. Well, that was an accident, but I'm not going to argue. Okay, it looks like another force field over here.
Ambush! Look out!
I have an ambush for you right here. It's called Orbital Strike. Oh, okay. Perhaps that didn't work out as well as I hoped. Moral of the story, when someone tells you there's an ambush happening, run away. course, the problem here is that our reinforcements, like, you know, just about everybody, went everywhere but here. So basically, I'm fighting the horde of Romulans all by myself. Thanks, Indeed. Okay, there we go. I managed to drag them back to where some of the Remans are. And hopefully I'll be able to get to No shortly and get her back on her feet. Oh, hi, Obisek. Where the heck have you been? Not according to plan. Yes. Definitely, ambush means run like hell. Now, we should be able to take 2 guys. Oh, right. That was better than expected. Whoa, whoa. Bam!
Obisek, so good of you to join us today.
Haki.
In the galaxy of your stench for some time. And now, with the Iconians at my side, that dream shall become a reality.
My dream is about to come true as well.
This ends now, Hakiv. No amount of Iconian or Talshar's scum will stop me.
I want to make sure I have the right guy targeted for the, you know, immediate shot.
We have bigger problems. The Iconian gate is still online, remember? Hakiv can bring in Iconian reinforcements as long as it is.
Yes, fine.
Then let's shut it down. Keep Hakiv and his forces busy while we work, or this trial will end real soon. And not in our favor.
We'll give you time.
I need help at the gate control.
Oh my god, they actually followed us. How'd that happen? Ah, nuts. Didn't hit my medical spray quickly enough. Okay, prioritize. Fine. Leave Hakiv alone and... And Noah's down again. It is a pain that, you know, roughly pretty much all my fighting force is basically MIA. Get that down, and let's pop the buffs.
He has a stealth field. Spread out. Find
He has a what?
You think you've stopped me? The Iconians already know. They know everything. I don't care. Blood calls for blood, Hakiv.
No, not like this. You're better than this. If you do this, it won't be justice.
Yes, it will!
You don't have to do this.
He must pay for what he's done. Ariete!
Alright, what's the call? Help Obisek or catch Hakiv?
Obisek's in bad shape. He needs field surgery right now, or he's not going to make it. I can't do this alone.
In that case, better wake up No, who's conveniently next to me. It'd be good to have a doctor, don't you think?
Hakiv's getting away. If he leaves through a gateway, he could return with enough Iconians to finish us off. Do you want to pursue him?
Wanna kill Hakiv? Robisek's been a good friend, and you know he's got the whole Riemann people behind him, so that's save Robisek. I blame Burnham for this entirely. Like, if we just been able to shoot Hakiv right off the bat. Oh, Abe's here.
Rest easy, friends. This part of the trial has reached its conclusion. There's a portal nearby. Use it to return to Yarnik. He wishes to review the results of the trial.
Oh, let's see what he's got to say. I blame you entirely, Burham. We could have gotten him. Say, Obasek would be okay. Hakeem would be a greasy stain, but no, you had to whine about it. Of course, on the other hand, it looks like fate worse than death is about to happen to him. So, you know, I can live with this. Okay, Yarnik, or whatever the heck your name is.
At a critical moment, you move to save Obasek's life. Because of this, Hakeem escapes and convinces the Iconians to pursue a scorched earth assault on their enemies. Millions more die in the following war as a result. An intriguing choice, to be sure.
It's not quite that cut and dry.
To callously leave an ally to die upon the battlefield is not the mark of a strong soul. Saving the life of a comrade in the fight against evil was a brave and noble act, one worthy of praise rather than scorn.
Not to mention that he was leader of the Riemann resistance, and, you know, they're kind of important to the history of the Romulan Republic.
The trial continues. Proceed through the nearby portal when you are ready to begin the next evaluation.
Come this way for your next trial.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be just as entertaining as the previous one. Still, who knows where we'll end up.
Any idea where we are? I haven't seen anything like this.
Oh, great. The Anorax. It's a Krenum ship built for temporal war, which means, guess who's going to be here? Noi, otherwise known as Future Guy.
Yes, some of this tech is very advanced, most likely from the future. Anorex was heavily modified after a scientist named Noi stole it from Kiana Station.
This feels like it's more appropriate for Star Wars, but I've got a bad feeling about this. Weapons out. In fact, flamethrower time.
Damage control teams. Ship's been in a rough fight.
Let's get some drone support. Now, Noi is a pain in the butt to fight, so if we're going to run into him, we could have some bad times ahead of us.
Looks like some kind of command station.
Oh, yeah.
Secure the area. You might be able to find useful.
Mirror Universe guys, too. They were a big ally for Noi and company. Which means we probably also have Wargons. And, oh, yep, there's the not cool. So that's going to be the last of them. We might also get spear builders somewhere around here. So, you know, lots of stuff to look forward to. Let's see what the logs say.
The sphere builders grow suspicious of my inquiries. I believe they begin to realize what my ultimate goal is. What I shall do once this war is won. Today, at Procyon 5, I will undo what the Alliance has done to them, to me, to my family. I will bring back my wife and child. All of this is for them, and no one will stop me.
I always felt a little bad for Noi because, you know, the reason his family got vaped out of existence was pretty much due to our actions. Because we weren't paying attention to what our better thoughts would tell us and decided to monkey around with time trying to wipe out the Iconians that way. It failed hard. And what do we got over here?
Krog becomes impatient, Despite her successful recovery of the Tox Utat and the restoration of the Nakul star,
oh, that's an
she
interesting
wants
change.
more. She wants revenge. It is tempting to use the Tox Utat on Sol, on Vulcan, on every star in the Alliance, but I have a better use for it at Procyon 5.
So this is a
Nakul
situation
vengeance
where we
now
didn't
has to
succeed
wait.
at all. Got a couple more logs.
My plan to recruit Admiral Lita to the Temporal Liberation Front was a success. Keeping her loyalty, however, is quite challenging. Like so many Terrans, her dreams of empire are strong. As long as those dreams remain in her reality, our partnership shall continue. The moment her dream takes hold in our reality, my reality, then the honeymoon, as they say, is over.
Well, it's nice to see that the Terrans are Terrans no matter what timeline we're on.
The petty squabbles over the Tox Utat have become tiresome. First Krog, and now Azure and Boratus. They growl and demand and threaten to depart over the artifact like petulant children. If it were not a critical element of my plans, I would have left it on Ryza, along with the corpses of Picard and his charming thief.
Ugh, things went real bad this timeline.
Funny, I've been to Procyon 5. It's unremarkable. In our time, at least. Looks like things change considerably in the next century.
You aren't kidding. It was the battle that happened again and again and again in the middle of a temporal war.
And on the bridge of the enemy flagship, no less. Judging by the look of things, the battle may not be going well for this Temporal Liberation Front.
Well, you know, that's not exactly a horrible thing.
We should leave. By now, we've been detected by their security systems. And I'd rather not be around when they send combat teams to retake the bridge.
Let's
There's
get
a turbo
moving.
lift down this way.
Expect trouble. Speaking of trouble, having trouble opening fire with the flamethrower. Well, when in doubt, full-on weaponry will do. Hi guys! You can always rely upon an orbital strike to
This
make
door here.
things simple.
I'm detecting a massive buildup of temporal energy ahead.
Yeah, along with multiple life forms, all armed.
Yeah, we've been here before too. We can expect all sorts of bad things. Hi there! Gee, they went down so quickly, I'm kind of sorry I dropped the turrets there. Hey, is that Lita? I think that's Lita.
Nice try. But you're
Yeah, let's take care of some of the small fry. Ah! Okay, no, can't do that one. And no, wake up, no. Wake up! There we go. Oh, you come back here. You know, if Node doesn't stop falling down, I rely on Node to help keep me intact, and having her fall down regularly does not help the situation. Let's get the bump of bops. Oh, I have an EMH available.
You haven't seen the last of me!
Yes, that's probably quite true. Now, where the heck did Seven and Burnham go?
I see him. Noise on the upper platform.
Yeah, at least that's stayed consistent. And yeah, we have some of the bad guys there too. This could be pretty rough. Like, really rough. So let's prep up the battlefield right off the bat. And I seem to be missing... no! You know, it's never good when the people I'm relying on for backup manage to disappear and go away to La La Land. I mean, look, Burnham's here, but I have no idea where the heck Seven went. Okay, kick off my box of buffs, and let's aggro the bad guys.
Waste time as you see fit, Tony. It will be for naught.
Yeah, I've heard that story before. It's not new. And Noah's down again. Why do I keep you around again? So basically what I'm dealing with is a commander who is only questionably decent at backup, a doctor who can't stand up to save her life, and me. 7 of 9, of course, being over in La La Land somewhere. On the bright side, though, Krog seems to be awfully attached to using that melee weapon. So I'm just going to kite Krog around and just keep shooting until Krog falls down. If Krog wants to be stupid and use melee weapons in a gunfight, hey, I will accommodate. Of course, Krog was going to be the easy one. Not cool or such a pain. I wonder what the Excalbians would say if I, accidentally on purpose shot Burnham and hunted down 7 and shot her too. Just saying. For as much use as the two have been. Okay, that one's going to be a rough one, because those are the Vorgons. There's 2 of them, and they're both, shall we say, high capacity. High trouble, certainly. Certainly a situation where bad things are going to happen to us. So I am, once again, going to prep the battlefield as best I can. And I'm going to take the additional precaution of slapping a cover shield. Didn't get the medical generator, but I got the shield generator. Let's hope that's enough. Okay, pop up the cute buffs. Run in like a maniac, shoot, run back out.
In the affairs of others.
We believe it is time to break you of that habit.
Moratus and what's her face? Azure, right. They were always a pair before, and why would that change now? Maybe I can get Moratus down if I get an orbital strike on him. Yeah, that worked out. You know, that was a lot easier than I would remember them fighting. Back in the original time that we did this, that was a rough fight. Alright, go upstairs and hopefully find Noi. Hello, Noi.
Here to parley? Or shall we just start shooting at one another?
Hey, I'm happy if you want to talk. At least up to a point. Because there's no way we're letting you let the temporal bomb go off.
You. Apparently Daniels hasn't grown weary of plucking you out of time and sending you to vex me. How many times have I killed you now? 4? 5? Honestly, I've lost count. It doesn't matter. Before I kill you, again, understand this. After today, the Alliance ends forever, and you with it. Daniels won't be around to save you this time.
You know, funny thing, last year, from my standpoint, that is, maybe not for your standpoint, we kind of kicked your butt. I'm just saying.
I will fight this battle again and again until I stand victorious.
I'm
I
thrilled.
understand the need to bring back the ones we've lost.
Living in the past is an exercise in futility.
Wasting your breath on him, Seven. Listening to reason is something that he abandoned a long time ago. Oh, he's got a defensive shield up. That means he's getting ready to bring reinforcements.
I will not be defeated. I control time.
Yep, there they are. Oh, he did problem from both sides. That's a new twist. Originally, he would bring them one at a time. Okay, we'll have to definitely keep a mobile defense here because there's me, and there's kind of Burnham, kind of. So I need to make sure to maximize my effectiveness. Come to think of it, where is No?
Enough! I will erase you all!
Yeah.
Control time. If anything, time controls us.
Deep, but wasted on more. Grief blinds into things like logic and truth.
Now see, Seven understands. I was kind of hoping to be getting flanking damage on Roy. There we are. He should throw up his shield any time now, and we'll have another wave of bad guys showing up. Or maybe not. Oh, there he goes.
I'm so close. I won't let you win.
Oh, what you want is highly irrelevant. And Noah's down again. Oh, I thought I took care of all the guys on our side. Oops. Well, the good news is Burnham's still standing. Let's get that, and if I can find out where I dropped No, there we are. Get back up. Stop lying down on the job.
The core is ready. I'll end you and take my ship back in time.
Oh, what's this? Sphere builder. Although she seems to be popping in and out, so that could make things complicated. Oh, hi there. Oh. On the bright side, No is actually still standing, which surprises me. Get over here, recharge shields a little bit. Oh, another sphere builder. Oops, don't stand here. Oh, so much for that plan. Oh, sure. Now do the roll. Oh, I think that was a little close there.
I've come too far. This time I'll make sure you're never born. Even if I have to shoot you in the cradle.
Noi! Husband, please.
Well,
You
that's
don't
unexpected.
Have to do this.
How can this be? You were lost.
I'm here now, husband.
I don't know if I like the look of that. Oh, that's not her. It seems that the Dominion has gotten involved.
Before it consumed us all.
Oh, that was definitely not the ending that one expected. There we are. So how did you get involved?
Noi was a danger to all life, even in the Dominion. I could no longer sit back and watch as the Alliance failed to stop him, time and time again. And so, I have done what you could not. Now, we must destroy this vessel, so it can never be used again. Let us end this war, once and for all.
It's unusual to feel like I'm agreeing with the Changeling there, given her reputation.
She's got a point. Without Noi, without Anorex, the TLF will lack the power and leadership needed to fight the Alliance. The war will end. And who knows, maybe there'll be a chance at a lasting peace this time. Stranger things have happened.
True
The
enough.
situation could have been avoided. He was finished. You didn't need to execute him.
Technically true.
Maybe we can still do this the right way.
You know, you've gotten us into trouble before.
This is a time ship. We should be able to generate a localized temporal spike and send ourselves back to a point before this whole situation goes too far. Let's finish this without resulting to cold-blooded murder.
Yeah, you know what? The last time we screwed with history, that was what got this mess started. No. Not just no, but hell no. It ends today. We have a better than good chance of making things worse.
You have chosen wisely. I am pleasantly surprised.
Your high opinion means so much to me.
I have much to discuss with the leaders of the Alliance. Steps must be taken to protect the timeline from criminals like Noi. For you, the war is over. Return to your ships. I suspect we shall meet again in due time.
I believe that will be enough for this trial, my friends.
Man with the hat's back.
Yarnik awaits our return. He will, no doubt, have things to discuss after observing your actions here.
Color me
Let's
shocked.
return.
Because I just loved returning this extremely traumatic event. Hi, Seven. I see you've been kind of kicking things back here and lazing around.
In allowing the murder of Noi, you made him a martyr for his cause, and the temporal war continues. Noi's followers go on to destroy the homeworlds of every Alliance member in antiquity.
With
With
what?
no opposition, they become the dominant force throughout space and time.
We got rid of their big time ship.
The loss of Noi was tragic, to be certain. But the risk of losing countless more to temporal manipulation was too great. In his madness, Noi's pursuit of vengeance would have laid waste to many a world. Bringing an end to that insanity was a mercy.
Your participation in the trial has been informative thus far, but we require more data to make our decision. Another scenario has been prepared. Enter the portal when you are ready to begin.
I'm seriously disliking you, Yarnik. I just wanted to point that out.
This way.
So, let's see. Where could we go next? I mean, we've got all this history to play with here. Could it be Sankethi? The Herc? Maybe it will be on the in the middle of the Iconian War.
This place isn't familiar. Either of you know where we are?
Okay, I got nothing on this one.
I know where we are, I just don't know when. Knowing that's gonna make all the difference here, believe me. Let's take a look at those consoles and see if there's any useful information in them.
Yeah, why don't we?
Science officer's log. ESA 4 was a test site for Section 31's Project Daedalus. It appears to be abandoned. The planet's atmosphere is toxic to most life forms, but we were able to establish a safe work area.
You know, I could be wrong. That sounds an awful lot like.
We've set up a plasma reactor to power the phase discriminators will need to capture the Red Angel. If the plan works, that is. If it doesn't, this may be my final log entry.
This is a recent entry, but the area is deserted. We need to know more.
Now, we're entering areas that I'm pretty much unfamiliar with, because this is basically kicking on to the second season of Discovery, which I have not seen. So all the stuff that happened in here was completely new to me.
Science officer's log. Control found us. We fought valiantly, but Discovery wasn't a match for Control's Section 31 ships. What's left of her crashed, not far from here. Somehow, Saru and Tilly were able to transfer the sphere data to this location. But it's only a matter of time before Control figures that out and comes to collect its prize.
So, Commander, any of this seem familiar?
I need to get the sphere data somewhere Control can't find it. To do that, I need the Red Angel. But the thing is, I can't trap the Red Angel without help. So I can only hope that someone from Discovery has survived, and they make it here before Control does. If Tilly was here, she'd be a font of optimism. But I know what that atmosphere can do. I don't think anyone else is going to make it. Logic suggests that I take steps to destroy the sphere data before it's too late. For now, I'm sticking with optimism. As Spock would say, there are always possibilities.
Everything matches up to the point where Discovery crashes. That's where things change, and for the worse. Judging by the lack of survivors present, I think we have to finish what they started. If that's even possible.
Well, you seem to know an awful lot about what's going on here. So, why don't you tell us about this Control thing?
Control is a sophisticated artificial intelligence created by Section 31. It was originally designed as a threat assessment program, but it evolved into something terrible. If it collects the sphere data, Control will pursue a path that ultimately leads to a complete loss of life in the galaxy. We cannot let that happen.
Okay, that would be bad. Now, what about the spheres? Is it related to sphere builders?
The sphere was a life form. It was extremely old and collected a vast amount of invaluable data over the course of its life. It passed that information on to the crew of Discovery before it died. Control did everything it could to acquire the data, particularly the data on artificial intelligence. It wants that data to achieve sentience. If that happens, it's all over. Control will be unstoppable.
So, high stakes. Lovely. Then again, I shouldn't be surprised since, you know,
We were
high
so
stakes is what
close
we
to
do.
this. To failure. To death.
Pull it together, Commander. Let's see what we got here.
We
Open
need to set up the
sesame.
phase discriminators at that console.
Phase discriminators, okay? We can do that.
Good. Now we need to prepare the stasis beams at that console.
Stasis beams. Check.
So far, so good. We need to use that console to prime the EMP next.
And
Almost
this
finished. Use that console to align the containment field.
Now what's the next step?
We've set up the trap. Now all it needs is the bait. Me. You'll need to go back to the previous room, close the door, and turn off the vents.
Does that really strike you as a very intelligent move?
Yes. Assuming things go as they did before, the Red Angel will appear in time to save my life. When that happens, activate the trap.
May all your guesses be right. Alright, let's go back. Close it on up. Where's 7? Oh well, if she's still outside, tough on her.
I've done all I
there
can
she
with
is.
these ancient phase discriminators.
We should have the power we need for this little stuff.
But we're only getting one shot, so make it count. No pressure.
Ready when you are, Commander.
Right. Do it.
Initiate sequence on my mark. In 5, 4.
3, 2. Wait, abort! Do not engage. Picking up a massive surge of tachyon radiation. She's here! Do it! Do it now! Activate the phase discriminators.
Ooh, I've seen this in Ghostbusters. I'm not sorry.
Activating EMP.
What are you doing? We don't have time for this. Discovery is gone. We have to deal with it ourselves. We have to stop control now, or it all ends.
Okay.
Now we have 2 burnups. This ought to be interesting.
You know, 7, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth with that one. Although, again, 7 seems to have vanished into La La Land. Typical 7 of 9. She's always there to provide critique and commentary, but when the things get ugly, bam, she's gone.
I get the feeling you were expecting someone else in that suit, Commander.
Yes. My mother. She designed the suit with my father and used it to escape a Klingon attack. In doing so, she learned how control ended all life in the future. After that, she used the suit to try and stop that from happening. Clearly, in this reality, that task has fallen to me.
Time travel never works out.
Transfer the sphere data to my suit so I can take it into the future, where Control can never find it. We need to act fast. Control is on its way here now. This needs to happen before it arrives.
Alright, get moving. Which generally means I need to get moving, because heaven forbid that, you know... And again, I am the engineer here.
How?
Okay, this just got interesting.
The sensor log said Discovery went down with all hands.
Oh, We've just gone into a horror movie.
Control's using members of Discovery's crew as shock troops.
Lovely. So things got really ugly real fast here. And looks like Noah's about to go down again. Oh, amazing. Noah's still intact. Unfortunately, I'm going down. There we go. That was close. Okay, one down. Multiples to go. Gonna have to duck and cover here because there's more of them than there are of us, and need to buy some time. Unfortunately, it seems like everybody went after No. And that's Tilly. Not to be confused with the Mirror Universe version we fought of her a while back. Alright, we're still kicking. Or are we?
If I leave the field, I'll return to the future.
Uh-oh, what the heck?
Fight Control without me.
Okay, we are looking at one ugly thing.
Something unconventional.
Unconventional.
Try to magnetize the floor. It'll disrupt it.
Magnetize the floor.
Lure it to me. I'll distract it while you give it a magnetic shock. It'll take several shocks to finish it for good.
Okay, well... Walk this way, ugly, horrible, evil thing. You know, this is not really working. If we're supposed to lure it over to the trap here... Okay, the good news is it's in the trap. The bad news is I've got no idea how we act.
Quick, magnetize the floor.
With what? Okay, here we go.
Do it again.
Do it again, she says. Okay. Looks like we'll have to bring it back. Bring it back! Let's kick off my buff tarts. Oops, guess what? It worked. Now, how the heck do we magnetize the floor again? We're not getting too much guide onto what we need to do to zap this thing.
It's weakened. Lead it to the platform.
Oh, okay. So we gotta weaken it down.
Give it another blast. Magnetize the floor again. Good. One more shock should finish it off.
Okay, so we've gotta zap it repeatedly before we convert back. Okay, well, we can do that. Oh, wait, the thing's breeding. Oh, this just got so much worse. That's when you think that things couldn't get any worse with the situation. Somehow it manages to pull it off. Okay, medical generator. Where is that thing? Oh, the nose already down. That figures. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to see. Up, and that takes care of that. Let's respawn it in and drop back 10 and punt. Let's see if I can drop an orbital strike on the thing. And that went down even faster that time. Let's play with time travel a little bit here and make use of my toys. Ah! I know this is supposed to do something useful, but for the life of me, I can't remember what. Ah! Okay, didn't really do too much except drop the aggro, I guess. And where is... Okay, that didn't work at all. You know, we were doing fine until this last spawn. That's when things kind of turned around and went ugly on us.
It's weakened. Lead it to the platform.
Oh, no problem. Here. Come and get us. That didn't work the way it was supposed to.
Finish it off.
Of course, the part about magnetizing it is the exact opposite. There we go. Magnetize, magnetize, magnetize. I have a feeling that things just kind of went ugly on us.
Using nanites to take over the future version of me. If that happens, it'll gain access to the sphere data.
Options?
I can try to inoculate future Burnham with my own nanites. This should prevent Control from accessing the sphere data through her, but it'll alter her biosignature. She won't be compatible with the suit if this works.
And what happens if that happens?
Too risky. The suit could wind up trapped here. Given time, Control could find a way to access the sphere data. We need to think about destroying the data. Purge it from the suit before Control can access it.
I like that idea.
Do that, but losing that data, all of that knowledge gone forever. Consider this. The means of eliminating Control could be held within the sphere data as well. Deleting it could be a fatal mistake.
Well, there's a choice between frying the thing or possibly frying the thing. No, let's not to mention, no offense, but org nanites are usually never the answer.
Get ready. This is gonna sting. A lot.
Do it.
Didn't I tell her not to do that?
That's a little more than a damn sting.
Get it right. Resistance is zero.
Did you get the data? What? Oh, hell in a handbasket. See, this is why when I tell you to do something, you do it! So, predictably, somewhere around here... Oh, no, I don't see the man with the top hat yet.
She's dead. The sphere data is gone as well.
Oh, at least that worked.
Shock of removing it must have been too much for her. I just watched myself die.
Oh, on the bright side, there's a different temporal time stream thing, so...
Unfortunately, we have a new problem. At the end, before it beamed out, I think what was left of Control merged with some of my nanites.
And apparently your genetic material too, since it actually put together an organic body too.
Yeah, and now there's a Borg Control hybrid version of me running loose somewhere. Whatever the Excalbians are doing here needs to stop now.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't think they're going to be
Easy.
cooperative.
The trial of Esau 4 has come to an end.
Oh, glad to hear it, Abe.
My apologies, friends. These events must have taken a heavy toll upon all of you. We should return to speak with Yarnik now. Let us leave this place. Come along, my friends.
Not sure how much he got out of the good-evil side of that.
How quickly you extinguished a wealth of knowledge. And to what end?
Oh, survival of the universe.
The data also claimed the life of the Red Angel. Control continues to exist, and the fate you sought to prevent will still come to pass.
Given how weighted you've put the scales on everything, is that really surprising?
Preventing Control from gaining access to the sphere data was a just and necessary action, despite the cost. While the entity continues to exist, it is vulnerable. Precious time was purchased this day, time that, God willing, will allow brave souls to find a way to stop Control and bring an end to its inhuman march of destruction.
I have my concerns regarding this trial. Yarnik isn't a very impartial judge, and he's clearly a prominent figure in Excalbian society. If his opinion of our actions continues downward, the situation could become volatile in a hurry. Still, it could be worse. We still have time to present our case here. Hopefully we will win some Excalbian hearts and minds in the process.
Oh, gee, Legend, have you not been paying attention to anything here today? Yeah, that's Abe. Or at least a remarkable simulation. Abe Lincoln and another set of historical figures originally appeared on Star Trek's original series with Kirk and Company. It also had such luminaries such as Kahless the Unforgettable of the Klingons, and Surak, the father of logic for the Vulcans. And we have completed part 1 of the Measure of Morality, and we get all this neat stuff.
I have been informed that Yarnik and the others wish to privately discuss the results of the trials. You are free to return to your vessel, or remain here until the recess reaches its conclusion. Once that happens, you will be summoned to continue the trial. How would you like to proceed?
Oh, well, what about you two? You guys good sticking around?
As much as I'd like to see what a ship of this time period is like, I feel like we should stay here. We might have the opportunity to speak with Excalbians other than Yarnik and see what they think of all this.
That would be a plus. Incidentally, fun fact here, those decisions that were made, if I'd made the complete opposite choices, trust me, we would still be with Yarnik sticking it to us. I kind of think he's got his mind made up.
I'm not as optimistic as Commander Burnham when it comes to the Excalbians. Returning to the ship has its benefits. I could use a drink. Several, actually. I leave the decision to you.
And I think that's a good idea. Let's go take a break while they do their deliberation. In fact, we are going to take a page from Star Trek in general. We've done part 1 this week, so we're going to do part 2 next week. Just like you'd see in the TV series. So, next week, at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, we will return to Star Trek Online and do part 2 of the Measure of Morality. And hopefully manage to avoid the ascendance of the Excalbians going to evil as opposed to good. Although, again, good and evil are kind of, fuzzy little things occasionally. It's kind of a point of view sort of thing. Let's just hope they wind up on our side of the spectrum. Knock on wood. Thank you guys. Thank you all for watching. Side note, I will also be streaming on Saturday at about 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, while I will be streaming Star Citizen. Also, there is an excellent chance that I'm going to do an out-of-cycle stream on Friday evening. I suspect on Friday evening at about, we'll call it 8 p.m. Eastern, I may do a stream on Valheim. That game seems to have kind of dropped off the radar of streamers a lot, but it's got the new expansion coming out for Hearth and Home. And for those who are unfamiliar with Valheim, I thought perhaps I would basically roll a new character, roll a new world, and perhaps occasionally drop in there and do some building and fighting and all sorts of stuff there. So, even though it's not on my schedule, I am probably going to be streaming on 8 o'clock on Friday night as well. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, whether they're watching it live or on video on demand, either here or on YouTube. Always appreciate everybody stopping by. Until next time, this is Korath Landwalker, signing off.